Empaths feel deeply. They notice the emotions others hide. They sense tension before anyone speaks. They absorb pain that doesn't belong to them. And while this sensitivity is a gift, it comes with a cost. Today, we're diving into the psychology of empath burnout, why it happens, why it hits so hard, and why so many empaths don't realize they're burning out until they're already empty. Let's begin. Empath burnout isn't just being tired. It's emotional exhaustion caused by carrying the weight of other people's feelings for too long. It's when your mind feels heavy, your heart feels drained, and your body feels like it's running on fumes. Empaths don't just understand emotions, they absorb them. And when you absorb too much for too long without releasing any of it, you burn out. Psychology shows that empaths have heightened emotional attunement. Their brains are more reactive to emotional cues, facial expressions, and tone of voice. This means they pick up on everything: the sadness behind someone's smile, the tension in someone's silence, the anxiety in someone's breathing. But here's the problem. Empaths don't just notice emotions, they internalize them. They carry stress that isn't theirs. They feel guilt that isn't theirs. They hold pain that isn't theirs. And over time, this emotional absorption becomes overwhelming. Empaths often grew up in environments where they had to read the room to stay emotionally safe. Maybe they had unpredictable parents. Maybe they had to manage someone else's moods. Maybe they learned early that peace depended on their ability to sense danger before it arrived. So as adults, they continue doing the same thing: scanning, absorbing, fixing, soothing. This constant emotional vigilance drains their energy, even when nothing is wrong. Their nervous system is always on alert, always processing, always feeling, and eventually it becomes too much. Empath burnout doesn't show up all at once. It creeps in slowly. And here are the signs: feeling drained after social interactions, sudden irritability or emotional sensitivity, feeling numb or disconnected, wanting to isolate from everyone, feeling responsible for other people's emotions, losing interest in things you once enjoyed, feeling overwhelmed by small tasks, emotional exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix. If these resonate, you're not alone. Empaths are often the strong ones, the listeners, the healers, the emotional anchors. People come to them for comfort, advice, and understanding, and empaths give endlessly. But here's the truth. Even the strongest people break when they carry too much. Empaths rarely ask for help. They rarely express their own needs. They rarely show their pain because they're too busy holding everyone else together. And that's how burnout happens: quietly, invisibly, internally. Empath burnout is deeply connected to the nervous system. When you absorb emotional stress, your body reacts as if you are experiencing the pain. Your cortisol rises, your heart rate changes, your mind becomes overloaded. Over time, this leads to emotional fatigue, a state where your brain simply can't process any more emotional input. This is why empaths often feel mentally foggy, emotionally numb, physically exhausted, overwhelmed by small things. It's not weakness, it's neurological overload. One of the most painful parts of empath burnout is losing your sense of self. You start forgetting what you feel, what you want, what you need, because you've spent so long feeling for everyone else. Your identity becomes blurred, your boundaries fade, your emotional world becomes a reflection of the people around you. And when you finally hit burnout, you feel empty. Not because you don't care, but because you cared too much, for too long, without support. Empaths often struggle with boundaries. because they fear hurting others. They fear disappointing people. They fear being seen as selfish. But psychology shows that boundaries are not walls. They're filters. They protect your energy. They protect your mental health. They protect your emotional balance. Without boundaries, empaths give until they collapse. With boundaries, they can give without losing themselves. Healing empath burnout isn't about becoming less sensitive. It's about learning to protect your sensitivity. And here's what helps. 1. Emotional boundaries, saying no without guilt, letting people handle their own emotions. 2. Time alone. Empaths recharge in solitude. Silence is medicine. 3. Emotional detox. Journaling, meditation, grounding, anything that helps release absorbed emotions. 4. Receiving support, letting others comfort you, letting others show up for you. 5. Reconnecting with yourself, asking, what do I feel? What do I need? What do I want? Remember, healing begins when you stop carrying what was never yours. Being an empath is a gift, a rare ability to feel deeply, love deeply, and understand deeply. But even gifts need protection. You are not meant to carry the world on your shoulders. You are not meant to absorb everyone's pain. You are not meant to break so others can heal. You deserve rest. You deserve boundaries. You deserve people who pour back into you. Empath burnout doesn't mean you're weak. It means you've been strong for too long. And now it's time to choose yourself.